Welcome to Quack Co, where every video is 10 minutes or less, guaranteed, or double your money back. Today, we are going to be talking about Mantis Falls. I'm going to do a review for you. I'm going to tell you the best stuff about it, the worst stuff about it, and then I'm going to give you my final verdict. So stay tuned to the end for that final information. I will give a little spoiler. This is probably one of my favorite games. However, there's a lot of reasons you may not like it. So, without further ado, let's talk about Mantis Falls. I'm going to read you a little passage because I feel like flavor text here at Quack Co is going to be very important. You are in a mob-ruled town in the 1940s, and at least one of you was a witness to something that you were not supposed to see. You need to make it across town alive to where there are people that can protect you, but your journey will be a dangerous one. You are informed that another witness will join you. By working together, you may have a much better chance of surviving. But what if they were not who they claim to be? This game is a version of a hidden role game that I think I'm just amazed that hasn't been thought of before. The concept in this particular game is you are a witness. Probably. And the person that's with you is potentially another witness, but they also could be an assassin working for the people who you are going to testify against. And your job is to get out of this particular town the quickest way you possibly can and survive. You will probably need that other person to help you survive. The question is, are they a witness with you, or are they the assassin who is out there to kill you? The interesting point about it is that you both could be witnesses. So that's an interesting thing. You both could be good people. And now I know what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, West, I don't get it. How could we both be the witnesses and not know it? I mean, it would be obvious that you're not trying to kill the other person. Hold on there. You're working ahead. I got you. Don't worry. It'll all become clear very soon. The way that it works is you're going to be moving your people across town, flipping over cards as you go, and those will tell you about what you're seeing in front of you. Generally speaking, you start here at the sunset, then you work your way towards the night areas, and then you will finish your town here in the dark. It's so good. On these different cards, there are different options available to you. You can, if your card allows, then doing an action phase here, we'll get there in a moment. You could potentially take a bus, you could make a phone call, or you could just walk with your feet. But at the end of your movement phase, you're going to have to draw an event. And that is where this game gets really unique. The event is either a seen event where everyone knows what's going on, or it is an unseen event where there's hidden information. Now, why does that make a difference, West? Great question. If it's a scene event, you have to put it out in front of you, and then you have to explain what happens during that event. In this particular case, it says that there is a person who's coming at you guys. Their health has the red number on your square. So there's a red, yellow, and green number on each individual card location point, and that will tell you a lot of different things that are happening in the game. In this particular case, the red number talks about the health of the person that you're going to be fighting. Then there is an opposition, so if you defeat this opposition, then there is a end point here telling you what happens at the end of the event. If you don't defeat the opposition, there's something that happens there. So in this particular one, if you don't defeat them, you're going to receive wounds divided amongst the players as you choose. In that particular case, it would be 4. So we could both take 2. One person could take 4. One person could take 1, and the other take 3. You get the idea. If you do defeat the opposition, then nothing happens. But that means that you've got to then play cards from your hand to be able to defeat that opposition. And again, this is where it gets interesting. Each player has a hand size. You're going to take a look at the cards that are available to you, and you can do different things. Sometimes you'll have cards that'll allow you to do damage, like this particular grenade right here. It's fantastic. It does damage. It deals 4 wounds to an event. And that would be this particular situation. It could deal the 4 wounds. The problem with doing that is that the players also receive 2 wounds. So while you may kill the opposition, you're also going to hurt yourselves. Now you could divide those 2 wounds however you like. One person could take both of them. One of you could take 1 each. But that's better than taking 4, right? Right? Maybe. Other things, you could be in a situation where nothing in your hand makes any difference at all. You have no way to deal wounds, so you're just going to have to take that damage, and that sucks. But sometimes it happens. Other times you're going to have a situation where you've got something like strength in numbers, where the two of you could work together. If you both have a strength in numbers card, then you could play that yours down, and the other player could play theirs down, and therefore you're going to end up dealing 4 wounds to that opposition. Or there's a teamwork card as well, where it just cancels the event, so nothing bad happens. That's great. But do you trust the other person you're playing with? Will they really put down that card? Because when you select your movement, you're going to put your card, or not your movement, when you select your action, you're going to put your card face down, and you're going to say, I did this. And then your player that's next to you, your partner, is going to say, okay, great, I did this. And then you're going to reveal your actions one at a time, and oh man, it really hurts sometimes when they didn't do what they said they were going to do because they thought you were suspect. But now they didn't do what they said they were going to do, and now that makes them look suspect, and now you're both questioning whether or not you're actually in the good, and oh my gosh, I've only got 6 minutes left. I'm already 6 minutes in. This is crazy. Anyway, point being, there's all kinds of fun stuff that happens in this game. You can actually string together different cards and do multiple actions in the same one as long as they're in the same basic suit, and that can make your turn so powerful. But the other thing can happen is that some of these are unseen events. And what I mean by that is that you don't put the card down. You just tell the person what's happening to you. In this particular one here, it says any number between 1 and 4, your choice. So I could say this person has a health of 4 because I don't trust you. And I want you to take a whole bunch of damage because it says in here, you're going to eventually have to give that group damage based on the yellow number that's on your square, which in this case would be a 2. So I can just say, you take 2 points of damage. And I don't take any. Sorry. But I don't have to show you the card so I can make it up. As long as I'm doing the exact thing that this card says, I'm following those rules, I'm good to go. And that's what makes this game so interesting. That's part of the best, in my opinion. It's so crunchy for a deception game, a hidden role game. It's so crunchy. There's so many different ways you can play. And even if you're being as absolutely straightforward as you can possibly be and say, hey, this is exactly what's happening, there's nothing I can do about it, I promise you I am a witness, I'm trusting you that you're a witness, we're going to make it to the end of this road together, you could get there and then that person goes, haha, I was actually the assassin the whole time, and then kill you right away because you're almost at 0 health. But the game's caught up with that too, because guess what happens? You've seen those movies before, right? Where there's a last gasp, the player kills them, and then they're like, and then all of a sudden they go, and then they do one more action. You get to do that in this game as well. You get one last gasp in this. Sometimes you could have 3 potentially. You could either heal yourself during your last gasp and allow yourself to continue playing the game, if you have a heal card, which are very rare, but they happen, or you could use that one last gasp opportunity to fire something or to do damage to that other person and end up killing them as well, and then therefore you win the game. It's amazing. So much fun. Now, why would you not like this game? I've explained all the reasons I love it, but why would you not like this game? What's the worst part about it? Well, if you're not into hidden roles, if you don't like subterfuge, if a game where you have to lie is something that is not going to win for you, that's not going to work. This is definitely not going to be a game for you. And honestly, you can play it with 3 players. I've done it. Not my favorite. I don't think it plays well at 3. It's possible. Maybe a better group could make it happen. My experience with 3 players was not a good one. So I believe this is a beautiful 2-player game. And that's very limiting to some people. 2-player only. But the more you play this game, the more you play it with that other person, the better this game gets. I can't tell you how many exciting games I've played where I had no idea, and I've played games with this person multiple times, and I had no idea that they were an assassin at the end of the game. And they absolutely took me from surprise. And I've done the same to other people as well. That is what makes this game beautiful and shines so well. This is probably my favorite game that I have played in a very long time. It's easily fighting for that top position in my game group and in my personal collection. So this is a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing that keeps it from being a 10 is probably the length. Sometimes it can get a little long, but I never feel like it's too long when I'm playing it. Thank you for being here and have a great day.